scarlet blaze. The struggle commences. It is the end of 1181. 2 years have passed since the Officers' Academy closed its doors. Having ascended the throne of Adrestia, Edelgard has begun to enact sweeping change. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus now calls Dimitri its king, while Claude reigns over the Leicester Alliance. All three house leaders have found their wings as rulers of a new generation. With the whole of Fodlan still reeling from these rapid changes, Edelgard decides the time has come to usher in a new era.
People of Fodlan, the Empire will stand by no longer. Together, we rise against a church that has become steeped in deception and corruption. The church has used their doctrine to deny you power and reshape Fodlan as they see fit. They thrust upon you the illusion of nobility in order to oppress who they choose, and they helped create the Kingdom and Alliance as a pretext for war. Finally, they teased you with the promise of salvation from pain they themselves inflicted, and did so in the name of their own profit. Well, I say no more. The Empire has severed herself from their hypocrisy by restoring the Southern Church and nurturing her people's well-being. And today, we purge the world of their evil forever. We will retake Garreg from the Central Church and stamp out any nobles who abet its depravity. By my title as Emperor Edelgard von Hresfeld of Adrestia, I hereby declare war against the false Church of Seros.
The past 2 years have flown by in but the blink of an eye.
And while they felt short, they were certainly eventful. The Empire has come far since we removed Arundel from power. We reformed the government, remedied our diplomatic troubles, and bolstered our military.
And most significantly, we gave strength to the Southern Church, creating the perfect wedge against the Church of Seros. A shame our bishop has become the target of relentless censure as a result, why the Central Church even targeted him for assassination. Poor Count Varley. It could not have happened to a finer man.
And then there's the matter of Lord Arundel. What are he and his minions up to now?
Slithering in the shadows of Fodlan, much as they have done for centuries. It will not be easy to drag such adept skulkers into the light.
Perhaps not. Then for now, let's remain focused on the formidable adversary ahead.
Did you call us here, Edelgard? It's good to see so many familiar faces.
I did, and thank you for coming. This may be the first time I've seen all of you in the same room since the Officers' Academy closed.
Likely, yes. We have all been rather busy marching down the separate paths life laid out for us.
Or most of us have, anyway. Others, such as myself, managed to eschew work in favor of a more leisurely existence.
Hey! I was working hard at staying in my room, but still... Father's been dreadfully busy, so he's never home. Which has been pretty nice, actually.
I was returning home to Bridget. I finished my task, and now I have been returned here.
Well enough. Now, as you know, the Empire will launch its attack on Garreg in the coming days. Emperor Edelgard will lead the invasion personally, and wishes for those present to form the backbone of her army.
And as it has been some time since Adrestia had an army under the direct command of the Emperor, I fear we currently lack for officers. I trust each of you, and can think of no candidates better suited for the job. Will you do this for me?
So you've got other plans for my father's army, I take it? Well then count me in. I'm ready to go whenever.
I would have been happy with a life serving you here in the capital. But if war is coming, I want to see it through myself. I'll go wherever you go, Your Majesty.
I'm always ready. Plus, it's good to know I haven't been training this hard for nothing.
I've high hopes for you, and trust you will prove the wisdom of my decision.
Just you wait. I'm gonna hurdle clean over those high hopes and show you what I can really do.
Be certain to save some of your hopes for me, because I most assuredly have what it takes to succeed. And with that, new Empire Army, move out!
Ferdinand, kindly leave the commanding and naming to me. You know, I don't believe I ever asked your feelings about this war. On the surface, it must seem as though we took Fodlan's fragile piece in our hand and shattered it into 1,000 pieces.
What? Is it deep conversation time now? Where'd that come from?
It's merely that we've never discussed the matter, and you are in a fairly unique position amidst this all. I thought you might be able to provide some perspective on how an outsider views the actions Adrestia has taken.
I don't know. Don't think I really feel too strongly one way or the other.
You have nothing to say? Nothing at all?
That's how it goes when you're a merc. War? Peace? Doesn't matter. My job's the same either way. It's just money in, blade out. All there is to it.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
It's like you said, I'm in a unique position here.
Meaning you would have answered differently were you not a mercenary.
Yeah. If I was a farmer, for example, I'd be hounding you day and night to end the war. Sure, you say you're gonna bring this bright and beautiful future, but am I really gonna suffer for years, maybe even decades, waiting for it? The stuff you're doing now, enlisting my farmhands, trampling my fields, destroying my crops, just doesn't make it worth the wait. But you know the toll it's taking on your people, yet you choose to press on with the war anyway. So you've got to have a good reason, right?
Yes, of course. You certainly don't mince words. Is it the years of mercenary work that made you this way, or have you always been like this?
Pretty sure it's who I am. It was just me and my mom growing up, you see. We lived in a village, but for whatever reason, she liked to keep to herself. So, I guess it rubbed off on me. I learned pretty quick not to get attached.
Is that so? I would be interested to hear more.
Trust me, it's not as interesting as it sounds.
Who says it has to be? Interesting or not, I'll have you tell me one of these days.
If you say so. Just promise not to freak out when you realize how boring I am, okay?
Do I seem like the type of person to freak out about such a thing? Perhaps don't answer that.
Well, there's a face I'm not used to seeing on the training grounds. Something wrong, Hubert?
I have merely come to examine the equipment. I hear whispers that it is in quite the state. Further, my being here should come as no surprise. Her Majesty and I train in these grounds often.
No kidding? I don't think I've ever seen you two around here.
Naturally. We tend to pick times that allow us to avoid a crowd. In any case, if you do desire a session with either myself or Her Majesty, you only need ask. A mercenary with no backing such as yourself has much to gain by earning Lady Edelgard's favor. Of course, we would not be without benefit. Your rise in standing would paint an ideal picture for our people.
How do you mean?
Many commoners crave progress, a path upward in life, and your example would prove that path exists. The common folk would never expect to see their emperor train alongside someone of your dubious origins. At least not outside the pages of a fairy tale.
Dubious origins? Little harsh, don't you think? Still, it doesn't sound too bad if I can use that to help lift people up.
On the other hand, your presence would also cause great turmoil amongst the elites of our society. They may even despise you. A symbol of the ungrateful commoner, granted privilege well beyond their station.
Oof. But hey, Dorothea's a commoner too. Why don't they hate her?
Dorothea is a famed former songstress, well esteemed in the upper echelons of society. Your situation is vastly different.
Right. Well, no point worrying about it if it's gonna happen no matter what.
Precisely. Things may yet change in the years ahead. But for now, all we can do is live with it.
So coddling the elites means the commoners end up oppressed, while hoisting commoners up only agitates the elites. Glad I'm not the one who has to rule the Empire. This whole thing sounds like a total mess.
A mess, indeed.
Monica, why are you just standing there?
I was waiting for you. You were speaking with Her Majesty, yes?
Yep, just going over some strategy. Why? Did you need me for something?
No, not exactly. So, what did Her Majesty say?
Well, she wanted to get my opinion on how best to utilize our mercenaries, since they all use different weapons. We're gonna be fighting some upcoming battles on terrain that'll make it harder to use lances, so we were trying to figure out how to deal with that.
And you didn't speak of anything else?
Well, yeah, but it probably wouldn't interest you. Mercenary stuff, you know.
That's not quite what I meant. There was cake for everyone, was there not? And I'm pretty certain there were fresh flowers throughout the room. Did you not see them?
Oh yeah, that cake was great. Did you want a piece? Flowers, though... I think maybe there were some little white ones?
Ugh, I have no interest in your opinion. I want to know what Her Majesty thought of them.
Why do you want to know so badly? Can't you just ask Edelgard?
You never know if a person is giving you their honest opinion when you spring a question on them. I just want to know what Her Majesty genuinely thought.
Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I wasn't really paying attention.
You were summoned by Her Majesty and granted the honor of giving her counsel. Then, she graciously offered you cake. And you didn't even have the decency to watch her eat it? Honestly, what is wrong with you?
Sorry if I let you down somehow. I don't think I really get what the big deal is, though. Want me to go ask her right now?
No, please don't. If Her Majesty learns I was prying about such things... I do not want to bother her with these trivialities. Forget I said anything.
I see what's going on here. The cake and flowers were your doing, weren't they? That's why you were asking me about how Edelgard reacted.
Yes, okay? Just please, not another word of this.
All right, I get it. Well, not really, but...
I beg you, forget this ever happened. The situation is far more complicated than you realize.
And that's the situation. Now put your head down and see it done.
Leave it to me. I can do this blindfolded.
And don't neglect your night training. You'll be a wreck in the morning if you don't put the hours in.
What kind of lazy jerk do you take me for? Of course I'd never skip my training.
Very good. Well, I must be going. It seems you have a visitor anyway, so farewell.
Wait, a visitor? Oh, hey, Petra. Sorry, were you waiting for me? What can I do for you? Everything all right? You don't look so good.
I am well. You have my thanks for your concern.
You sure? I can walk you to the infirmary. I think Professor Manuela is in, actually.
No, I am well. Do not be troubling yourself.
If you say so.
I do. Caspar, I was not realizing that your father was visiting.
Yeah, he dropped by to talk to Edelgard and some of the others. Guy's so busy he hardly stays in any one place for more than a few hours.
I must be remembering that.
Oh, you have some business with him?
No, not yet.
Hey, sorry, but did you need me for something?
Huh? Oh, Edelgard is needing you. I was coming to tell you. She appeared quite upset. Her composure was almost lost.
Wait, she's mad at me? Oh no, I totally forgot she wanted to see me! Thanks, Petra, you're a lifesaver!
One day, I will be having revenge. Leopold von Bergles, you will be ruining the day you stole my father's life.
I'm tired. Time to find a good spot for a nap. Bernadetta? Why are you skulking in the weeds?
No reason! Not getting in the way of two people's love at all! No, sir!
Huh? But I'm alone here. Ah, I see. That.
Yeah, that! I was out walking when I saw them! A man and a woman together in the woods, getting, heated.
Well, neither of them seems to be dead yet.
They're on a secret date, you dummy! Not fighting!
Regardless, how does two lovers stealing a moment alone lead to you curled up here in the fetal position?
Because I'm hiding! I mean, if I messed up their date, they might try to get revenge on me!
Relax. To them, you're no different than a pebble on the side of the road.
Hey, I'm not a pebble! I mean, sure, sometimes I wish I was just a rock, but...
Then just roll away quietly and you'll be fine.
Just roll away quietly. Hey, yeah! Wait, no! They'd see me! Stop trying to get me killed!
We've made enough racket over here to raise the dead and they haven't even noticed. I think it's safe to say they're off in their own little world. Still, good for them, sharing words of love when either one could die tomorrow.
Wait, they could die tomorrow?
They're both soldiers who serve on the front lines. I doubt a rosy future awaits them.
No!
No, that's not true! Couples swearing their love and defying destiny are a staple of classic fiction!
Sure, but the fact it wouldn't happen in reality is what makes it such a good story, right?
Wait, but there are tons of stories where two people who have sworn their love don't ever meet again.
Likely because that's something people are familiar with from their own lives.
Okay, so which is it? I believe those two can be happy together, so they can, right?
I hope that's the case, but reality is cruel. Anyway, I've talked myself right to sleep.
Huh? Come on, don't sleep there! Uh-oh. Guess I'd better try that turn into a pebble and roll away quietly plan.
The Imperial Army has invaded Burgundy, and will reach Garreg Mach within the month. With no way to stop their advance, we must ready ourselves for a siege.
We sent the bulk of the knights away last month, after the Western Church occupied one of our sacred sites. The forces that remain are thin at best. How are we to hold the monastery with such short-handed numbers?
It is possible the Empire orchestrated that entire incident to bleed off our strength. Look at how thoroughly information about it was buried, and how quickly the Empire invaded after declaring war. It all feels carefully calculated.
I would not put it past them. If they bring war to our doorstep, they will want us on the worst footing possible. If the tides turn against us, we may have to abandon Garreg Mach.
Never!
Edelgard is already using the Southern Church to erode our legitimacy. And now she has the gall to try and remove us by force? There can be no mercy for tyrants. So help me, I would like to put her entire army to the sword myself.
Is it truly too late to prevent bloodshed, Lady Rhea? Edelgard must have her reasons for doing this.
If so, they elude me. The woman seems to consider our church's very existence an abomination. Yet she has gone to the trouble of reviving the Southern Church, which implies she does not mean to destroy the faith outright. Perhaps Garreg Mach is the true prize she seeks. Or worse, this entire invasion could merely be a precursor to conquering all of Fodlan.
Her purpose matters not. Our charge is to defend the monastery at all costs. I took an oath. I swore I would never again suffer the boots of thieves to sully this land.
Rhea.
It is a low form of comedy we find ourselves engaged in this day. To think the descendants of their empire will be the first to invade Garreg Mach.
All the more reason to prevent it. I care not if we shared blood countless generations ago. I will not permit anyone to defile Mother's resting place.